Morning. I'm Idanis Rodriguez, Commissioner of the New York City Department of Transportation. On behalf of Mayor Eric Adams, I want to welcome all of you to One Police Plaza, where we are talking about our Vision Zero efforts to save lives this holiday season, specifically how we will stop drunk driving. On behalf of Mayor Eric Adams, again, we thank you all for being here on this cold day. Well, not so cold, right? It's a nice day, right? Compared to, 2 days ago was more raining, but, thanks, we had a great day. We are standing with our brothers and sisters from the NYPD to talk about the consequences of driving while intoxicated this holiday season. In a few minutes, you hear from Chief Rivera, a great partner, a great leader of the NYPD in our city. But I first want to take you all back to 5 months ago, to the 4th of July, a little over a mile from here. A neighborhood gathered on the 4th of July celebration and how they were ready to have a nice dinner at Collier's Hook Park on the Lower East Side on a hot afternoon. As the afternoon became evening, a pickup truck suddenly came speeding down Water Street and went directly into the crowd of people in the park, people there to simply celebrate the holiday with family and friends, and many of them lost their life. The destruction was horrific. When all was said and done, an allegedly drunk driver had killed 4 great New Yorkers and seriously injured 7 of them. Those are real consequences of drinking and driving. The analysis by the NYPD CIS unit of that horrific crash that the Manhattan DA cited in this indictment of the driver. The driver was estimated to be going as high as 50 miles per hour with a 25 mile per hour speed limit. I want for all to give a moment of silence to all those that on 4th of July lost their life and ended with in critical condition. Now we all know that dangerous behavior have increased since the pandemic, and the excessive consumption of alcohol was certainly one of them. And we have seen it reflected in dangerous driving just last year. In 2023, our data showed that 50 traffic fatalities in New York City were directly tied to DWI, an increase over the prior 3 years average of the 40 fatality. That's a 24% increase. We know we see more drinking and driving during the holiday than in any other period of time of this year. That's why we will be pushing our Vision Zero messaging that you see here in our board in all of our 4 marketing channels in the next few weeks. And now we will hear from Chief Rivera, a great partner, as I said before, not only with this initiative, but in many other initiatives on Vision Zero. The commitment of this administration, led by Mayor Adams, Commissioner YPD, Tish, and Chief Rivera and I, and all the men and women at DOT and the Department of Transportation, especially our educational team, led by King and the rest of the members that we have in our great Vision Zero initiative. They work so hard 24/7 to be sure that we save lives. Before presenting you to Chief Rivera, I want to share with you about how are we also now working with Vision Zero, especially in some bill that we have in Albany. That we work in Albany. We've been supporting or sponsored legislation by Senator John Mannion and Assembly Member William Manarelli that will reduce the so-called drug driving. New York remains one of the only states where law enforcement officers must provide a toxicology test in order to prosecute a driver for driving while impaired by drugs. This bill allows so-called drug recognition experts to charge drivers based on their observation and help deter this dangerous behavior. Finally, thanks to the DOT staff who do so much Vision Zero, King, Wally, who is here, Erin. I also want to thank the team at TPN, including Anne-Marie and Ro, Miranda, and our interagency unit, who will be leading the charge on our legislative agenda. Now I present to Chief Rivera.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning, and thank you for being here. As the holiday season kicks into high gear, the NYPD is stepping up efforts to keep our streets safe and prevent unnecessary tragedies. Today, I want to send a clear message to everyone who lives, works, and visits New York City. If you drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs, you will face consequences. This year, NYPD officers have made over 3,300 DWI arrests. Despite our collective efforts, impaired driving remains one of the leading causes of fatal crashes here in New York City and across the nation. Alcohol-impaired driving contributes to nearly 30% of all traffic fatalities in New York State. These are not just statistics. These are lives lost, families shattered, and holidays forever marked by grief. That's why starting today and continuing through the new year, the NY will roll out an enhanced DWI enforcement strategy. Here is what you can expect. First, we'll increase sobriety checkpoints across all 5 boroughs. Officers from our Highway Division, Citywide Traffic Task Force, and local precincts will patrol key locations, focusing on evenings, weekends, and high-traffic areas where impaired driving is most likely to occur. Second, our drug recognition experts, elite highway officers specially trained to detect drug-impaired drivers, are working 24/7 and are readily available to assist any officer who suspects a driver may be under the influence of a substance other than alcohol. Whether it is alcohol, narcotics, or prescription drugs, impaired driving of any kind will not be tolerated. Third, we are doubling down on our public education and awareness in partnership with the Department of Transportation, our Vision Zero stakeholders, and community organizations. You have already seen public service announcements, social media campaigns, and outreach efforts to remind New Yorkers to plan ahead. To every New Yorker listening, this is a time for celebration, but it's also a time for responsibility. The impact of drunk driving is profound and far-reaching. Beyond the immediate victims, entire families are left to pick up the pieces. Survivors often face lifelong injuries and emotional trauma. The financial burden from medical expenses, legal fees, and property damage is enormous, but the actual cost is measured in lives forever changed and futures stolen. Yet this is a problem we can solve. Drunk driving is entirely preventable. It begins with each of us making the right choice. If you plan to drink, plan ahead, or you are planning to fail. Use a designated driver, public transportation, or call a cab or a ride-sharing service. If you see someone about to drive drunk, step in. Offer them a safe alternative. Your actions can save lives. Don't let a reckless decision ruin your holiday or someone else's. If you see someone driving under the influence, call 911 immediately. Your call could save a life. The NYPD is proud to partner with the Department of Transportation and our Vision Zero stakeholders in our mission to eliminate traffic fatalities. Through enforcement, education, and community awareness, we can make this season safer for everyone on our streets. In closing, I want to thank the men and women of the NYPD who will be working tirelessly to keep all of us safe on the roads. To all New Yorkers, have a plan, make responsible choices, and look out for one another. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And before saying a few words in Spanish, I also want to mention the other legislation, the second one that we're going to be working with partners in Albany. We are supporting to the push to lower our state legal blood alcohol concentration threshold, or BAC, for DWI from 0.8 to 0.5. That will make a big difference, and that will save more life. Now, BAC between 0.05 and 0.08 is right now called driving while ability impaired, better known as DWI or DUI. It is still illegal, but the criminal penalties are lower. for safety and enforcement, having two different thresholds in our law is not helpful. There's not really a safe level of drinking and driving, but the law suggests there is. In much of the best of the developed world, from Australia to Ireland, to Argentina to Netherlands, policymakers have settled on a single lower threshold of 0.05. In all those countries, they have found that the lowering the threshold leads to an immediate decrease in traffic fatalities. Academic modeling show that here in the United States, lowering the threshold will save lives, leading to estimate of 10% decline in traffic fatalities. We strongly support the bill in Albany and that will lower the DWI, the threshold, sponsored in the last section in Albany by State Senator John Liu and Assembly Member Joanne Simon. Again, we want to invite all New Yorkers and visitors to please don't drink and drive. And if you're planning to drink, please get a designated driver, because if you don't do that, if you drink and drive, the men and women in the NYPD, they will be watching for you and you will be arrested. So, hoy nosotros estamos aquí con el Chief Rivera con un mensaje muy claro para toda la ciudad de Nueva York. Queremos que todo el mundo tengan un buen día de Navidad, de Año Nuevo. Sabemos que estos son momentos muy importantes para nosotros celebrar en familia. Queremos que todas las personas lleguen seguros a la casa. El chofer, queremos también que si él maneja, no tome. Y si él está pensando tomar, por favor buscar un chofer designado. De esa forma, el chofer llega seguro a su casa, pero también no le quita la vida a personas trabajadoras que muchas veces en los tiempos festivos pierden su vida en esta ciudad. Así que let's all celebrate our great holiday, our great New Year. Let's be sure that everyone look for each other. Driver, please look for a designated driver, because if you don't do that, if you're drinking and driving, the NYPD will be looking for you.